Yeah, and just as a side, and I could go in like this actually and sneak through their rear side. Well, it's not really important. We'll kill them anyway, because at this point they hardly a challenge. I mean, couple dragons at the same time would be very annoying, and if those would be ancient dragons, like blood dragons, they could be actually pretty lethal, but not this amount of regular bandits and Stormcloaks. So, are you done? What's holding us? Report back to hardware. I think he's just not out of the dungeon yet. Maybe. Or it's just not pointing to me. Hardware. Oh yeah, here.
Get back and report our success. I'll stay here and clean up.
Keep an eye out for Stormcloaks. My sword arm's getting flabby. What the rebels like to forget is that the Empire is what's keeping the Dominion out of Skyrim.
Yeah. That's basically the reason why I'm siding with Imperials. Cause, you know, if this North folk will revolt, they will not get their province for long, cause they are no really proper opponent to these folks from High Land. They will not be able to hold them. Even the whole Empire couldn't. That's why the Gold Concordat was signed. Even though the rules are not in Nordic or Imperial or human side at all. So we better keep in all provinces together. That's our only choice if we want to exist. Yeah, hide the ball, maybe. I'm not going to attack anyone in Solitude. It's Imperial friendly.
Not so bad. Daughter keeps me fed.
Yeah, I guess so. General Talios. Fine, and my weight is fine as well. And we're not going to have anything useful here, I don't think. I better travel into Solstheim for arrows. We can buy actually quite a few from their traders.
Heard about you and your honeyed words.
Yeah, thanks. If that's a compliment, of course.
Now that we have Winterhold, I can garrison some troops there until I'm ready to march on Windhelm.
That's the deal.
I have come to rely heavily upon you. It is only fitting that you join the upper echelon. I am hereby elevating you to the rank of legate.
Yeah,
on behalf of
me
the Empire and myself,
quite quickly.
Please accept this gift along with your new rank. Congratulations.
Ah, thanks. The guy who almost executed, you know, the sentence. But,
make your way to our camp in Falkreath. We're going to take it back. And don't think I've forgotten that you were the one that gave it to Ulfric in the first place.
Well, we're getting back.
You'll be doing whatever Rika tells you to do. And I expect you to find creative ways to disrupt the Stormcloaks along the way.
Yeah, sure.
Gods be with you.
And is just going there and shooting them all from my bow, my trusty bow, is creative enough or not for you? Because I'm not sure, because it's my kind of way. In my opinion, it's pretty straightforward, but maybe it's sneaky enough for you to count it as a special? Maybe, maybe not.
If it's arms or armor you need, see Baron in Castle Dower.
I don't have a lot of stuff, and what's the thing that he gave me? Actually, I think he was talking about something. Maybe that was some piece of armor. Oh, steel armor. I mean, it's heavy armor. And I'm going for light armor. That's first thing. It's 53 and weight 35. That's the second thing. And the next one is just you know, my light stuff upgraded, legendary, glass armor. I crafted and enchanted. It's a tiny bit of 3 times better. So yeah, let's just get not to here, to the opposite side, to the trader, sell this useless garbage to someone who would actually appreciate it. If it's actually not too late, because at 4 AM it's actually too early, right? So no, not just 1 hour, but like 3 hours, probably, perhaps. Yeah, this guy is here.
Take a look.
I'm sure you would really appreciate this amazing piece of the best steel armor ever, right? Well, not that I really care anyway. And you guys really don't have good stuff. Iron arrows. Meh.
Return
I
anytime you
mean,
need arms
technically,
or
we have this guy which specializes in bow and arrow, but he usually doesn't have really good stuff either, so
Hello and
of
welcome.
course let me try.
Excellent. I think you'll... Thank you.
Yeah.
Take a look.
So just I would sell you more stuff, mostly. Because here, oh, no, you actually have some diegetic stuff, only 27, but maybe I just leveled in a better way, because he haven't had any good stuff like a few episodes ago. But these days 30 arrows is actually pretty decent. That's like enough to kill maybe like 2 dragons or 10 folks. If lower level, then even more than just 10 folks. But we are kinda done here and regain Folkrith. Okay, and it's not a terrible deal. It's just kinda longish way, so yeah, start from here, I suppose. And since we're here, we could actually probably maybe buy a few piles of logs, if we can. Oh, no, we can't. We should wait. It's fine. And now you're here, my vampiric
Here for
friend.
work. Get an axe and bring me all the wood you can chop.
And all the
A
blood
guest? Oh my.
I can quench your thirst with. Well, anyway.
Doing some building, eh?
Yeah.
I'll have them hold over. Doing some building, eh? I'll have them hold over. Doing some building, eh?
Sure,
I'll have
my
them hold
Canadian
over
friend.
Doing some building, eh? I'll have them hold over right. Doing some building, eh? I'll have them hold over right away.
Yeah, that's fine by me, and now we're just traveling westward. Direction.
And back.
Yeah, hi. We're getting to another Imperial camp, from which we will retrieve our orders and regain Folkrith hold.
Nice.
Civil
More
war.
pillage!
It's mostly about regaining control. Haha. And
And pillage
establishing
after.
a civilized control about it.
Oh, no pillage! No pillage!
I mean, we don't need any partisans here. Sneaky ninjas. Which will watch every our step.
Sticky ninja!
Oh, a cave. It's not really related.
Over here, please. I need help.
Oh,
Please.
Don't tell me you're gonna go to the cave now.
I mean, that depends on kind of help he needs.
Thank Kinnereth for you, stranger.
Yeah.
I'd almost given up hope of walking away from here.
I mean, it's not like that's a popular route, so you don't really have a good chance on meeting anyone here. I was only here because I was going to secret Imperial camp you're not supposed to know about, so yeah, don't ask about it, or I will kill you. And what are you doing out
We
there?
tracked a bear to this den. Good coin for those pelts. We had the big sow cornered when they showed up. 3 of them, out of nowhere.
Bears.
Niels went
brigands.
down before we even knew to run.
Ah,
Harry died
brigands.
just inside. I never even thought the things were real. I may have lost a drop or 2 of blood. Truth is, I'm not going anywhere like this. Hurts to breathe.
So,
I have to get going.
I have a potion for you, dude. Maybe this one.
Much better. Thanks, friend. I wouldn't have lasted much longer without that.
Take this and hold on to it. I'll be back for it later. I'll pay you good. Don't lose it.
Another dude. Slow down, explain
No
yourself,
time to talk.
dear
Snitch or
fugitive.
double-cross me and I'll kill you. I mean it.
What they want.
But I've spent more than my share of time in caves already.
Huh. Okay, so I'll just let this dude run away, but... Isn't this cave or something? Let me see, now I have to mark this quest on my map, right? Where's it taken care? No. Regain focus.
Much better. Thanks, friend. I wouldn't have lasted much longer without that. But now what? I can't just walk away, not with my friends' bodies in there being torn apart by those beasts.
Yeah, I'll help you, I
for a
guess.
stranger? I don't know what to say.
I'm the messiah of
I
this
see
world.
Someone run past just now.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks. Bastard stole from me. I'll catch him though.
Yeah, you do that. I don't like fugitives of stealing kind. That's why I'm not siding with Thieves Guild. And am I supposed to go like this quest is a little bit messier than I would like to? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to.
Oh, by the way, Avari,
Yeah.
I want to make sure, though, I'm saying with every reservation, but when Blizzard announced the Battle for Azeroth, you know they announced the WoW Classic, right?
Yeah, I heard about it.
I think it's going to be free. I'm not saying not putting my hand on the fire. Wait till I find any more info about it. But you will be interested to play vanilla. I mean, if it was free.
Where'd you come from?
I'm not sure. I've started playing, I think it was at least the Burning Crusade in some free server, and then I moved to legal servers, because they have better support, and the only time something didn't work, that was with some quest, which didn't progress through some script line, so I just contacted official support through in-game chat, and they fixed everything, like, they just set it for me like done, so I missed the cutscene, but I didn't stuck. And on official servers, some quest playing didn't work, and since it was about the lore for me, of course it was a trouble, so I moved to official servers, and I haven't experienced like original vanilla experience like Warcraft 1.0, but I've heard that a lot of things were actually pretty annoying, like if you travel through like flying these things, hippogriffs, it wouldn't automatically route you towards your destination. You had to travel every single link separately, and then a lot of different stuff was a lot harder, and good luck finding 40-player raids to raid without automatic matchmaking.
Yeah, I know, this happens. At least on the official servers, you don't got this issue, especially if you want to go on normal or heroic. And I'm talking about normal raiding, right? We don't talk about the pro raiding like mythics and crap like that. You always find somebody to do that on the official. But I believe because many people, a lot of people in fact, demanded and asked why we don't get any classic servers. They're gonna put this thing in, and but I'm gonna let you know if this is gonna be. I'm gonna give you some time, see any intel or info to let you know if it's gonna be free or not. Just make sure.
Yeah, I think some of those people who are complaining, they are not. They were not really playing the original World of Warcraft, so maybe they have very little idea what they're asking for and would they play it. Because it's one thing to complain about something on internet, that's not hard, that takes seconds, but playing, on the other hand, is completely different thing. So if 1,000 people complaining about something, would they enjoy it being resolved? Would they use it actually? I don't know.
it's always Occam's razor, man, or cuts doubles ways, you know. But lots of people, you know, remember about that free server that existed that was classic, a private server, and they shut it down. There was a huge uproar from the players, and they were screaming and yelling at Blizzard for
it was
not
technically
allowing.
a copyright infringement, like really hardcore one, because they literally copied someone else's job, and well, what they really were expecting, since it wasn't really a fully free server. I think you could buy some like extra bonus, like VIP membership or something like that.
Yeah,
so like extra rates of loot and XP.
So, yeah, I know, but so in the end of it, people that been after the server's been shut down, right? People were bitching and moaning. Well, we want some classic, and play a game and have fun, you know. So they decided to make the classic by Blizzard. You understand the scheme here, the project. So they shut down the server, pirate one, so they can make their own classic servers.
Done then. Justice, if you can call it that.
Yeah, and actually Blizzard, I think their behavior was pretty decent, because they could just sue them and sue out of their asses hundreds of thousands of euros. But they just told them to shut it down and like, we forget about it, we will not sue you. So that was actually pretty decent. Like some company like Nintendo wouldn't just let them walk away.
Yeah, but if I find any more info, I'll let you know.
Yeah. We'll see if people will be actually playing it and in what form it will be present, because it's not clear on which patch out of original World of Warcraft they are basing their things, and maybe they will introduce still some modernish mechanics to just make it easier for new players, so they could experience that too. If it will be free, will it be free for like current subscribers, or it be free without any World of Warcraft subscription ever? Which I doubt, basically.
But I'll look into it and see how it's gonna go, and if I see it has people and it's like pure vanilla, you know, because vanilla didn't have many dungeons in the end. I think it had Onyxia and Molten Core. It was very fun back in the day, you know, because I'm a very early beginner in that game.
Yeah, a lot of people are complaining that modern Skyrim is more dumbed down, because I can partially agree with that, because my favorite, like my main hero, is a Night Elf Hunter, Calderai, and starting zone, it's a place where you have a cave with like spiders around, and the main spider which you have to kill, and not even in vanilla, just in the Burning Crusade, and maybe even in Wrath of the Lich King, those trash spiders, trash mobs, they were all hostile. At some point in some expansions they set them to be neutral, so they don't attack until you attack them, and obviously if you have a sophisticated cave with neutral spiders, it's very easy time. If you have spiders which carefully spread around, so you have to pretty much kill all of them to get through, that's a little bit more sophisticated and maybe a little bit more intelligent. So actually I see some of those complaints about World of Warcraft, but would people enjoy the full difficulty level, like it was really more difficult than we have it now? It's the other question.
Yeah,
but it's nice to have the alternative, because you don't have to play it, I don't have to play it, but if it would
it's a nice alternative, you know?
Yeah, it's better to have an option than to not have it at all.
Oh yeah, a chance is always better than having a no chance, my friend.
Yeah, and we're continuing with this Skyrim camp.
Sorry,
I'm not stumble upon another cave with another dude which will be asking for help.
Well, also I heard that ESO was not good at some point. You know ESO, right? Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah. I think some people were saying that originally it was kinda meh, but they patched it and changed things, so now it's actually pretty decent. But if you like Skyrim or like the Elder Scrolls universe. If you don't care about Elder Scrolls, if you just want super good MMORPG, maybe that's not one of the best, but maybe it's not the worst anymore. Because I wasn't playing it myself. I'm kinda interested to try it out, but I'm not sure if I would invest money in it.
So wait, ESO is like you buy the game, but you don't pay a monthly, right?
I think you can not. Well, you can skip paying, but I think they have like premium stuff, like better rates or something like that. But I'm not too certain about it.
I need to check this out at some point. But I won on a raffle Black Desert, so I'm trying this one. But I hear that the grind it's so bad.
Yeah.
On Black Desert.
I don't know. I haven't played it. I only heard about it. And I think Polaventris was playing it on Twitch. It's a shame that Pola is not keeping recordings of his live streams like archives. I do realize that partners can't do that directly, but you can highlight your whole stream and then your highlight would be kept forever. So that's the way you can go around it.
You know, with a new Twitch thingy, you must, if you want to post on YouTube, you have to do it after 2 days. You know that, right? It's a new law thingy they made. So you make an, at least when you do your thing, you make it like after a few days because you edit the stuff.
Well,
so for instance,
it takes me.
If I was doing a stream now, let's say like we do now, right? Twitch does not allow me by law not to post it on YouTube. It needs to pass like 48 hours.
Then join them in wiping out the
to make it a highlight on YouTube. But
I'm not copying the whole highlight. Like I'm not putting just this 3-hour live streams on YouTube. I first edited them and then
that's a different
I posting episodes. So first of all, it's not direct copy, so that's obviously not the case for that rule. But I have another thing about it, that I'm not uploading it right away, because at this point I have like the 40th part of a live stream edited in 3 or 4 different episodes, which I think will go up next week. And then I have a 41st part of live stream that I haven't edited, that will go the week after that. And after these 2 weeks, you will only get stuff which we are playing now. So it's like half a month, not even 2 days.
Exactly, yeah. That's it's not problem with you at all. Just stating the new rules. They just because they keep changing stuff. You know, they always keep changing stuff. So
at the moment, Twitch is still more like positive to actual dealing with content creators, and you know, on YouTube, I feel like every single thing that YouTube changing, that Google changing, is bad for both viewers and content creators. But on Twitch, at least half of stuff that Twitch are doing there is at least not negative. So YouTube, in its stance, it seems like to be a very hostile place, like from administration.
Yeah, I will agree with that. It's not the YouTube we used to know, like back in 2004, right? It's a complete different platform right now. It's a complete alienated thing, alien completely. It's not friendly. I have some other friends that they used to post content there. They're not on the gaming community. They were in a different community. And for instance, this guy left YouTube for Amazon because his job was undermined by the YouTube policies and the algorithms and all these, you know, weird things they have added there. At least Twitch is a little bit more flexible for now.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we have some sort of alternative, like, for example, Mixer, service that Microsoft bought. It was called differently than their changed the name, acquired the company, and doing some stuff there. But obviously, it has only a fraction of viewership of Twitch, so I'm not sure about if it's competitive or not. Like, will someone move to Mixer and register on Mixer just to watch me? Probably not. Even if you're a bigger streamer, will all of your streamer viewers, subscribers follow you to a completely different place?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
no.
Maybe some of them will, but it's definitely not 100% or 90%.
No. I mean, here it's your home. You know, you do your thing, and people enjoy it, right? And you know, why if you have a good home for the present, why move to another home and make everybody else uncomfortable?
Well, it's like with CPUs. Like we have Intel, we have AMD. I use Intel. They have majority of market, but it's still nice to have AMD, because if you don't have any like opposition or any different players on the market, then that single player can do everything, whatever they want with the market. They can set ridiculous prices, ridiculous rules, because if you're not doing that, you're not doing anything. There are no other places. So I'm still glad that Mixer exists. I will be even more amazing if some other platforms will turn around and well, be successful somewhat, because you have to fight for your place under the sun, and if it's not the case, Twitch can become as arrogant as YouTube are doing now, because you can't go anywhere from YouTube, because it's firstly about videos, not live streams. And if you want to do videos, what you're going to do if you're not on YouTube? Post it on some other servers, which 3.5 spam bots will check it out.
Oh yeah, but I agree. I mean, competition is always good, and always good to have an emergency backup alternative, if you get my drift.
It's like with monetization. I'm not doing any monetization. Even when I had partnership, I was using it only for schedule uploads, because before, like a year or two ago, you couldn't do scheduled uploads unless you was a partner. So it was a welcome addition for me. But yeah, YouTube monetization with all these ads rules as of recently, it's completely shit. Like I heard the rates are terrible. You can't do it just by YouTube ads unless you have a few millions of subscribers. And Patreon is another thing through which creators can monetize. It was nice that they could make it to this sort of level.
Yeah, Patreon is like for more bigger guys to monetize their stuff. I mean, if you go on Patreon though, be aware that you have to do double the work, because you're gonna have like content for...
I'm not going to Patreon, because laws of Belarus are not very friendly to that. But I'm just glad that now smaller content creators can at least partially help themselves, like financially, because even I'm poor potato from Belarus. I have ridiculous profits, which I'm not going to discuss here, because yeah, that's personal. But even I'm backing some folks up, like Steve Benway.
I know.
Just a couple bucks there, and the Shadows knows, retro gaming German YouTuber. He's making English videos about retro gaming, not just like one platform, but he's doing a lot of comparisons. Like I love this his series about like how this game looks on Commodore 64, Amstrad, and another like platform it came out.
Yeah, even Obsidian Ant, that he does mostly content for space games, mostly for Elite Dangerous and a couple of other games like No Man's Sky and etc. He went also himself on Patreon, because YouTube monetization is not covering him much anymore. And he's big, right? We're talking about he's one big, not an enormous, but big.
Yeah. So even though they don't have a lot of Patreons, like it's still nice for them to make like maybe $100 on tops, so they could at least buy that ridiculous thing from eBay to review or something.
Exactly, yeah.
With 1,000 or 10,000 of subscribers, you're not going to earn real money from it. So when you buy games, from YouTube. When you buy games or like devices to review, you are paying money so other people could have fun. It's not really straightforward formulas for smaller content creators. So it's nice when they can get some sort of deal to cover at least some of those expenses.
Yeah, basically what Patreon does is like assisting you with getting the pieces of equipment you need, mostly, first of all, for reviewing, right? And secondary, to upgrade your own recording and PC abilities, you know, like better microphone, camera, if you
buy
use.
a new piece of software if you have to upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of helpful. I mean, if you got a nice following, I mean, it will give you a little extra pocket, not like millions, for God forbid, you know, but it will give you a little tiny boost, you know.
Yeah, because numbers are nice and all that stuff, but it's at least for me, it's not about millions of subscribers or views. It's just mostly about interaction with people. Because I have like maybe 5 or 10 active subscribers out of those 400 that I have on YouTube, or 450 or whatever. But it's just about people like you, like Pola Ventris, like Logins or Visutin.
These are the loyalists.
So you would feel like they're real people, not just a number. Like that's the Scorpion song, just a number, not a name. Well, we have a few names here. And
of course. We know who you are. We do know who you are. I know who I am.
Yeah. Always nice to see you, Spec, and them, of course.
Of course, man. We're sort of a family, to be honest. I mean, we know each other also from years. We're not like we met today, you know. You know what will be nice? I mean, you have the cash and have money and all meet at a certain neutral location that may be convenient as a country for us, or you know, visit
I
country.
really
That would be awesome.
think I would
I
ever
know.
get.
I know, but I'm just saying, right?
Like, Belarus doesn't have even good deal for visas for European Union. We're not in Schengen or something, so I have to pay like 65 euros to get a visa. Then I get to pay some fee for like a company to actually feel like the purpose, because I don't live in the capital, so I have to travel to Minsk or just sign a contract with company that would do stuff for me. So that's another deal. And then transport. If your like income is like below $200, is well, you can live for that in Belarus. But it will take a whole year to just get amount of money, so you would waste all of that you saved in a year. You would waste in a few days in some European countries. So for me, it's if I maybe upgrade my PC, or I'm burning $500 in Europe. What do you think I will choose?
I know what you're talking about, but we're talking about figuratively.
Yeah, it's not like theoretically it would be an awesome idea to just do some sort of meetup.
Yeah, it would be nice with Paul.
I actually always wanted to travel. Maybe someday when I'm like 50, I will travel to Finland, because it seems to be very not just very beautiful, but also very nice place. Like, and people stand towards life and all that.
It's going to be fun. I wish I could visit Juntiland as well. You hear that, you Junti? Are you still there? The Junti.
Maybe not. Maybe yes. But yeah, Finland is cool. Suomi rules.
So anyway, yeah. But heading back to the Patreon and stuff. So yeah, Patreon it helps even the little developer, content maker, whatever, to do its stuff. I mean, even like
not just YouTube.
Not only YouTube. Yeah, YouTube it's done for. Patreon is better, to be honest. I mean, even if you get €1 a month, it's something instead of 50 cents or no cents at all, you know. For instance,
like
they on chat, no, no, just for the visit. We will visit you, Paula. We will visit you at some point.
Well, maybe
so carry on, Avari.
Yeah, and some people like making like music videos or content creation of that, or maybe producing some actual things in low volumes, like when some people like engineering folks are making some extension boards to help retro gamers. if you have some sort of design, some sort of electronic board, it's expensive to produce them in low volume. Like every single one of them will be pretty expensive. So it would be nice for them to at least fund some research and production partially.
Oh yeah.
Like all those devices like DVMC or stuff like that.
Yeah, I got. In fact, I got on my Specky, on my Plus, I got the SD thing is the DVC, right? If you recall the name, it's very handy because you put it on the interface slot, and it loads up from an SD card. And I got a gazillion games on it for the Specky.
Yeah, because loading it from tape or even from a disk, well,
yeah,
there's no production of 5.25-inch discs anymore, so they will all eventually degrade. Like I still have on the shelf near me like 3 boxes, sealed boxes of 5.25-inch discs. I think it's high density or maybe it's double density or something, but I have those boxes, but it's not like they will help me a lot. Maybe by the point I would end up using them, they will be all just dead.
Maybe if you had a Commodore 64 for a disk drive could help.
I mean, getting Commodore 64 now will end up with me like spending $200 probably. With
with all the taxes and the mail and everything. Yeah, gotcha. But I'm just saying in general, they could be handy. Even if you had like an old PC, like using this.
I have that ZX Spectrum Plus 2, but in order to like make it viable for like streaming or recording videos, I have to buy a lot of stuff. Guys who made, I think, DVMC Enjoy Byte Delight, they made another thing that could encode into HDMI signal like card, but this card is really fucking expensive. I'm not spending that amount of money just to make my old computer work. I do realize that they don't get the same rates as big production companies that buy components in thousands and tens of thousands, so they have every single resistor costing them like cents maybe, and if you buy 10 resistors you will get them for much more expensive rate. But
of course,
that it's not changing anything for me.
No, it's not gonna. Yeah, no, it's not. It's how much your country and everybody's country, it's with the mail and prices to send to that said country. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. So retro interfaces are now a thing, to be honest, and they just appear all the time, like. From DVC, how we call this thing, to the HDMI thingy, God knows what's gonna be next, you know. But honestly, for comfort's sake, I wouldn't bother take my poor old Spectrum, because after all, it's a 30-plus-year-old machine right now, and I don't want to force it into forced labor because it's an old machine. I mean, I cannot risk it to have a malfunction at that point. I maybe put it on to work, yes, to keep the humidity away, right, for an hour or two, just to keep it like frisky. But no, I wouldn't do that. All this torture to place all these do the HDMI thing. I'd rather use. Sorry for that. I'd rather use an emulator, because if you set up the emulator completely and normally properly, it will do the same work, and it's more comfortable, to be honest.
Yeah. Because guys like major retro-ish YouTubers like Clint Basinger, like LGR, Lazy Game Reviews,
no,
he can afford keeping all that stuff in a nice place, like has a storage unit somewhere, like in some company, and keep it all in working order. But it really takes not just effort, but resources which, well, regular people just don't have, for the most part. And then if it's broken, if you are not I'm not anyway skilled in all that soldering business, so I can't fix it myself. I could buy some cheap soldering station, but it's probably end up in me destroying stuff instead of repairing it. So I'm not going to
it's a risk. It's a risk, man.
One single piece of retro hardware that I have. So for now, that Spectrum +2A. It's nice stuff, don't get me wrong, but it's mostly here as a trophy, because back then in the 90s my family had a clone, and I have original machine, so even if it doesn't work, and so far it works, it has its quirks, but it works, it's still nice to have it just to put it on the shelf.
Yeah. But I wouldn't risk to do that. And Paula says on the chat, risk it for a biscuit. No, Paula, I'm not gonna risk my Specky to screw it up. I'd rather do it on an emulator. Yeah, but yeah, speaking about LGR, he has money. I mean, he has ton of Patreon.
I mean, he's not a millionaire, and
yeah,
but yeah, he can do stuff, and I'm glad that at least some people can do that and make it, because all that retro gaming audience, it's not like that a lot of people, like millions of people on YouTube, just can't sleep without watching retro gaming videos. So in order to be able to earn enough money to just do YouTube or to do just Twitch, takes quite a lot of effort to get through. So that's not just money, but skills. I do realize that I'm not the most amazing, not even half amazing YouTuber or streamer, but it's a thing that I enjoy doing, and that keeps me sane, because my job is not really good, my life is not really awesome. But I have this like streaming, YouTube and editing thing that I enjoy. I like to have at least one thing in my life that I enjoy doing.
Oh yeah, and you keep doing that, man.
Even if it really doesn't really make any sense to other people. Like,
I understand you, but at some point I can understand you. Not that I am exactly 100% understanding, but you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, people like, I remember, Paula, you are in the channel, you will hear this. I remember that Paula wanted to stream. What was it, Paula? Was it that nest thingy? What? And you had to sit on the sofa for how many hours? Was it a Commodore? Can you, if you're there, can you type it on the chat, please? That you were about to sit on a sofa for how many hours? Please do. Let's give some 20 seconds.
I cannot
yeah, it was a special day for the. It was a special thingy Paula wanted to do and he wanted to do Commodore 64, but he put it on the TV, and if I do anything wrong, correct me please, Yunti. And he had to sit down on a sofa sort of thingy, which was very tiring for him and very difficult for even the guys to watch. It was sort of, yeah. It was not comfortable in a few words, you know. I mean, if you want to do something, you have to do it to enjoy as well. I mean, you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm like this and that, you know, to enjoy and be able to present it accordingly, you know.
Yeah, if you're not having fun doing something, I don't think people will have fun watching it, right? Because you can notice if a person does something just to, like, suit some people.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. This. No, I'm not even by that. Yeah, I won't give €100 for accessories myself to make my Amiga also to enter the fucking internet. You know, go Facebook on Amiga, for instance. Like that's crap. That's super crap. I mean, if you wanna buy something that for convenience only, to get your life more a little bit easier, it's okay. Give like €16, €20 if you buy something that makes your life more easier. Don't buy it for the sake for it is existing alone, right?
Yeah, you can buy everything anyway.
Yeah, but for convenience, we're talking about only for convenience, right? Because as this said, €100 of accessories. I mean, what to do all these accessories for an old machine? I don't. On my personal opinion, I don't want to make this old machine like explode or something, because they're old and they're very delicate, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I did streams with the Specky, and I will start doing them at some point, hopefully soon again, when I'm gonna be a little bit more better, use the emulator. If you properly set the emulator, You got no issues with it. Do you have any Spectrum emulator? Because you said you wanted to do some Spectrum runs.
We can always like download from the interwebs without official stuff. Spectaculator. Licensed by the best torrent trackers of the internet. But yeah, me buying stuff emulator wise, I'm not sure.
My pick for the Spectrum is the Spectaculator. That's it.
Yeah, it's you have to pay for it. Well, or you can pirate it. It's not like anyone will going to catch you for it in Belarus. No one really cares. In Russia, you could be a little bit in trouble, I guess, but generally not so much.
But it's a hell of a good. It's a nice emulator.
Well, the least crappiest one.
Yeah, it's the least crappiest. Paula says my Commodore 64 lasted 10 years old. 10-year-old me and still works today. That proves it's indestructible. This is what Unity Man says. But yeah, I understand, Paula. It's a matter of. I believe all machines are built not to last super forever, but they are durable compared to new machines. But as I said again, I won't press the poor old thing to do something that it's not made to do, in a few words.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming back to the emulator thing, yeah, I'd rather stream my Speccy games with the emulator. It's more convenient and easier than if I was rich. Yeah, I will put the Spectrum on high definition, 4K, and start streaming with it. But no.
So far, I can only record my real Spectrum like by pointing camera at it, and my camera started to have some issues. Like sometimes it worked alright, but the time I was trying to build my like PC with all this upgrade, it actually failed. It started to show vertical lines on the image, so it wasn't amazing. Then it kind of started to work alright, but I'm really not trusting it anymore for like long amounts of time. And me buying another camera that's like $300, which is yeah, I'm not going to have many videos. Maybe it could handle like 5 or 10 minutes in a row, but I'm not sure. So for me it's kind of difficult to have. And then buying any cables like or capture cards, how do I do it? Like RGB cable, okay, but people say that plus 2A has shitty sound through that's RGB output where it has sound also.
Yeah,
so fixing it somehow or just working even like that, how do I capture that Spectrum RGB signal? Because Spectrum signal has like vertical refresh rate and horizontal refresh rate, which is not really suitable for like modern days cards.
I have this issue. And TVs, some TVs, my TV for instance, it has this issue with it.
I will probably be able to make it work with my like CRT TV.
Yeah, that's most likely with a CRT.
But even to do that, I have to buy that cable, which can be quite a bit expensive.
Yeah, I know. Vari, give me a moment, please. Be right back for in a few seconds.
For the Empire.
Releasing a captured dragon. I don't think I'll ever understand.
RF quality is shit. It's complete shit. Composite a little bit better, but when you convert in RF to composites, that's not really helping. So yeah, it's probably not going to be amazing, and I can't just grab a TV and put it in my bedroom where I do stuff. So no, I'm not going to do that. Maybe I would try to find some free emulator that works somewhat decently and can be captured through software without messing around too much, like I did before. but making it work particularly with you know, real hard versus through streaming or something. I'm not sure about that. Maybe I'll eventually try the cable to at least put it in TV or something. Maybe not. I use DxTory simply because it can record like mic audio and game audio separately, so edit it out. And
finally, someone useful is around.
OBS is good enough for like most stuff when DxTory doesn't work too good.
And welcome, my friend. True. What are you hunting? Never mind. I don't want to know. Perhaps I'll be seeing more of you.
So I'm not overweight, I can just proceed. But I was using Fraps, yeah. It's less resource intensive than OBS or DxTory. It has its own proprietary codec, which works really well. I remember playing for that video over Carmageddon Reincarnation, and I was noticing difference that I have better frame rate, more smooth video on Fraps than on DxTory. Yeah, I remember me having to synchronize it with Audacity, and that was, well, messy, to say the least. And you couldn't just stop the video, then do some stuff off camera, and then start it again, because you have to start and stop both things, and not every game can not crash without your, well, when you're alt-tabbing or something. So, yeah. If not Fraps, then, well, free alternative is OBS. It's maybe not as good for recording, but it's pretty good for that, and pretty good for streaming as well, obviously. So where are we going? Here. Maybe from this.
And back.
Yeah, hi. We're going for another camp to get our instructions and then raid another fort of those filthy Stormcloaks. It's here, actually.
Nice job, Paula. Yep. So yeah, I mean, also, which program you use to do streams? You use the classic OBS or the slobs, the Streamlabs OBS?
New one, multi-platform, OBS Studio.
The new one, right?
Yeah.
The slobs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a good program. I mean, you can capture nice, and I used it also with my emulator, and I didn't have any problem at all, mate. At all.
I mean, obviously, there is how that's called. Completely forgot. That thing that you have to subscribe for to stream.
What?
XSplit. Yeah, now I do remember. It has a
XSplit,
free mode,
yeah.
but it's really limited, and I heard that you have to pay a subscription fee, not just buy a program, but a subscription fee to stream. Well, I can tell you to fuck them off.
I mean, yeah,
I'm not going to pay
sorry for that.
That's not
it's stupid.
That's not an antivirus where they have to update bases and, you know, improve their security all the time, so someone have to pay for that. But it's just one program that you buy one time, and it should work.
Well,
having subscription fees for like software of this nature, it's like Adobe Creative Cloud.
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid, man. It's completely stupid. I mean, Paula uses classic OBS, right? That's for sure. He's fan of the program. He loves it. I'm using slobs. I'm using Streamlabs OBS. And you using classic
no, not Streamlabs. Just
classic OBS.
Not classic. OBS Studio.
The Studio, yeah.
OBS Studio. It's what's.
Yeah, I remember it now. Yeah, I had that too. I had it too. I moved to slobs.
Yeah, it has a lot of features, but I've heard it can be very resource intensive, and sometimes it doesn't work really good. It can glitch, and then it has million things in it, so you cannot be sure which exact thing is glitching. So I'm not going to move for it, even though I have now 6-core CPU. But yeah, and just be easier on me to just care about like 5 different things than caring about hundreds of plugins built in.
Paula says on the chat, if it works, I don't fuck with it.
Yeah,
that's Paula motto always.
That's wise words. If it works, then touch it. Or it will break. Oh, it could. Not necessarily, but I can manage to screw up 5 or 10 minutes even without complicated stuff.
Nice shot. Oh yeah. So I mean, it depends. Whoever feels comfortable with, you know, you like classic. The studio, Paula is well with classic. I'm happy with slobs for now. I don't do heavy games anyway, so there's no problem.
I remember recording or streaming of Morrowind, not Morrowind, what I'm talking about, of Overwatch was kind of problematic for my old stuff. So I had to play with different settings, like use my video card to render that stuff. How's it called? CUDA or something? NVIDIA? You can make your GeForce to capture video for you through that software or algorithm. So it's NVEnc that's producing it. Now I could switch back to software mode, but since it works anyway, yeah, just like Winston said, I'm going to follow the most finished way to deal with stuff. If it works, then fuck with it.
Oh yeah. And Vici says
trademark. And Vicentin trademark.
Yeah. But honestly, co-hosting is I never expected co-hosting to be fun. You know, it's my first co-hosting thingy session ever, to be honest.
It's much easier. It's just a little bit harder to stay focused. Like here, I'm not going to edit that stuff, because if I'm just talking myself, I can cut away portions of video that's like trading or getting to the place or something like that. If we're talking all the time, to make our discussion sensible, I have to keep all of the stuff. So I think these streams, when it will go live in 2 weeks, I'll just edit it in 3 parts, hour per part, and call it a day, which will be easier for me, a little bit harder for YouTube folks, because if you watch a playthrough, you probably want just like story stuff and not messing around, and we are messing around. But yeah, I think sometimes it can work, especially with games like that are not lore oriented, like Overwatch or some just shooter.
Yeah,
where you don't.
It's more fun, you know. They make comments. Oh, look at this guy shooting in your face. No, you failed. Something like that. Yeah. But yeah, it's a different experience though. It's fun. I like it. Makes interesting conversation though.
Yeah. So for a podcast or something, that could be really good.
Yeah. Wish we had Paula as well. I want to hear that Uni side going crazy sometimes. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, so it has its own weapon of choice, like on streaming, whichever most convenient. So speaking of now, saying 6-core, so how's the new equipment going with you? Are you happy with it? You feel more doing faster things? More reliable?
I was messing around with Windows 10, and in Windows 10, for whatever reason, volume that any program that I used that captures video and stuff, volume of the game is much lower than what the game produces. Like I hear one level of sound, and what it records is actually much lower than that. So for example, before that I was actually lowering the video of the game in OBS by a few decibels, and now I not only have it full in OBS, but I actually add in like 12 decibel on top to make it audible properly. So that's something like that. But I mean, it works now. I have now all the settings right, so it's not too worrying. But yeah, just another thing that works in a different way. And everything else is kinda alright. I guess Windows 10 at least better than Windows 8 that had that ridiculous tiled menu interface that you couldn't really get rid of. And here you mostly have standard stuff. At least predictable and more strict.
I understand.
Not just giant blocks of touch interface that I'm never going to use, because I don't have touch screen on my monitor.
Of course not, you don't.
Well, there are some monitors with touch screens, but they cost thousands of dollars, and it's not such a thing that I need in my life.
Nah, it's nothing that I want to. I mean, I don't even bother with, speaking about mods really quick, I don't bother to buy something new unless something screws up, you know, dies up, then eventually I will have to, you know, compensate at some point.